Suyog Kulkarni is now with us, and I think in some time Amit will also be there. Suyog, your thoughts on the numbers? The revenue guidance being upped looks like a positive, but there is a concern on the margin.
Yes, so like revenue growth is much ahead of our expectation. Margin is a bit of a disappointment. Deal wins look strong, and the positive thing is that they have raised their guidance is around from 12 to 14 to 14 to 16%, and they have retained their margin guidance. So I am forecasting us like 17% revenue growth for FY22, but I feel that as you rightly highlighted, attrition remains a worry, and the impact of margin it need to be seen for next couple of quarters. But deal environment and strong deal demand remains a much dominant story that I believe.
Amit, even though there is a quarter, Suyog, how do the valuations stack up now for the two companies, Infy versus TCS? Because we've seen Infosys outperform at TCS. In the last 3 months, Infy has gone up by 15%, whereas TCS has been flat. So do you think, in a way, this strong top-line performance has been factored in?
Yes, Infosys has outperformed TCS in last quarter, and currently on my numbers, the premium against Infosys TCS premium over Infosys has shrunk to the a low single-digit number. But going ahead for both the names, we expect a double-digit revenue growth, revenue CAGR for next couple of years, and that's probably provide a valuation support to the Infosys and both TCS. So we expect that the strong valuation, the higher valuation is likely to continue because of the resiliency of demand, and that will reflect in the revenue growth.
Utilization is also another metric which has gone up for the company on a quarter-on-quarter basis. Utilization excluding trainees stands at 88.5%, including trainees stands at 83.3%. That just goes to show how stretched or the bench is not really vacant for companies like Infosys, given the strong demand environment that we are currently in. So Infosys demand picture looks very strong, and that I guess is going to reflect with the rest of the IT companies as they start reporting their numbers. But clearly the supply side situation, the ability for companies to meet their demand with talent appears to be a concern. And as you can see, some statements coming in from the management, rising attrition continues to pose a challenge. Amit, anything else in the numbers which stands out for you? Okay. Suyog, anything else that you would like to highlight?
Not really. I would be interested to know in a management call regarding the what was the reason of impact on the margin, what will be the hiring trend going forward, and what the management is doing on attrition, and lastly, what are the pricing trends the management is seeing.
Okay, the COO Praveen Rao of Infosys says, as the demand for digital talent explodes, that's the word that he's using, the demand for digital talent explodes, rising attrition in the industry poses a near-term challenge. We plan to meet this demand by expanding our hiring program of college graduates for FY22 to 35,000 globally. And they're also, in fact, in the statement that the company has issued are talking about the employee engagement initiatives, career acceleration opportunities. So companies are going all out to retain their top talent. And this is, these are the kind of statements that we've heard across various companies now in the last few months, that they are doing everything that they can, not just in terms of compensation, but also in terms of training programs to keep employees satisfied in order to retain them. Nilanjan Roy, the CFO of the company, says, we remain confident of delivering on margin guidance underpinned by our comprehensive cost optimization program, despite increasing cost headwinds arising largely from compensation review, talent acquisition as well as retention. Very rarely in the management speak in the press conference do you hear about attrition as a word. They usually talk about demand, they talk about deal wins. I think it's only in the last few months that attrition, the supply side situation, the tight labor conditions have started making their way back into the management speak in the press conferences. So those are some internals. For those of you who've just tuned in, let's do a quick recap of the Infosys Q1 numbers. It's a mixed bag. The company has delivered a robust performance on the top line. The demand side situation for IT industry remains very strong. The company has seen a 4.7% dollar revenue growth versus estimates of 4%. Constant currency revenue growth at 4.8% is also ahead of street expectations. The company's upped its full year guidance by 200 basis points, also coming in as a positive surprise. But as I said, the margin side, the cost situation due to rising attrition is a bit of a concern. Infy margins have missed street expectations. The stock has done well. It's up 15% in the last 3 months vis-a-vis a TCS which has been flat, and in the last 1 year Infy has doubled while TCS has restricted its stock gains to about 50-odd%. So the question is, the numbers are looking good, especially on the revenue and the demand side, but is there enough in terms of a positive surprise for the stock to continue climbing on from here? We'll slip into a very short break. When we return, we'll perhaps have the management joining in and the press conference will begin.